Welcome to another edition of Motivational Sundays with Kevin and Friends. This show was originally created from more than 300 quotes I originally created for the contents of my books. After studying years of human behavior, I was always curious, was these quotes something that just people randomly said, or were they a conversation we need to be had? So I got together with a couple of my friends, Chris, Gilda, Dr. Breakthrough, Lardez, Denise, Curtis Battles, and the voice of our show, Otis Spencer. And we said, let's put something together that we can talk about and stay positive about. So each week, we meet at 9 a.m. Uh, every Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. One of us brings a wonderful quote, and we try to keep it positive. So we'll do that today. And we talk about how these quotes landed on us. Today, we have a wonderful quote that is brought to us by Denise Lopes, our educator on this show. And for you listening, that's if this is your first time, enjoy the ride. We're going to have some fun. So, without any further ado, we're going to turn this over to the voice of our show, Mr. Otis Spencer. Will you please deliver the quote of the day?
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Time is not refundable. Use it with intention.
All right, all right. We're going to see what people are doing and how they're spending their time. We're going to turn this over to one. I want to say this. Thank you for your service, serving our military, because without you, the conversations we're having right now, we would not be able to have. So thank you for serving this country, Mr. Christopher James. How does this quote land on you?
Grand Rising, everyone, and thank you again, Kevin. It was my pleasure. Um, it's amazing. This quote, we actually saw it on one of Denise's Facebook posts. It's one that you're always told, time and tide waits for no man, use time wisely, and all that. But I like the way this one talks about intention, or in other words, yes, you have this gift of time, not just use it wisely, but use it intentionally. Have it, use it with a plan. And the only connection that I can quickly make is long ago, I think I was just turning 25, between 25 and 30. A friend of mine once said, "Hey, have you thought much about, what life's going to be like when you're in your 80s?" And I said, "No." He said, "Well, take a look at what you're being wasteful with now, and basically project yourself into time and to where you find those wasteful items quite needed and necessary." And of course, I had no idea what he was talking about. But he pointed out that I was at the time uh, living well above my means. I was wasting, was blowing through money, not looking ahead. And he said that type of you know un, un, unplanned or unthought actions are going to cost you money later on. It'll cost you later on. They said right now, if you're living in a time where you have what you need, you're comfortable, scale back a bit and keep in mind what things will be like, say, 30, 40 years from now. And through the talk and the teachings, um, we started, Martha and I started saving money at that point. Uh, Still about 27 years old. We started saving money, basically living at a comfortable level, and everything else we considered excess, and we placed it in the savings. Um, Now we're both in our 70s, and we can say that we have no financial concerns, but more importantly, we we're at a point where we can actually look forward and say, well, let's do this, or let's do that, or let's have fun at this stage of our lives, as opposed to burning all of our essentials back when we were young. So the whole idea of living intentionally sort of makes me think, okay, yes, you may be enjoying life right now, or you may be enjoying time right now. Think ahead to where you're going to be 30, 40 years from now and plan accordingly. Time is the one thing that you don't get back. Time is the one thing that's going to basically set your path and you walk down that path one time. So the best you can do with time is project in your mind, in your plans, in whatever ahead, and say, what am I doing now that's going to affect me in the future? And there's where my head went with that saying, with that
All
quote.
right, time is not refundable. Time is intentional. And I will tell you, thank you for the time you have blessed us since the conception of this show. You share the stage with your wife, Gilda. But I also want to say that those of you that have not read Dr. Stan Harris's book on breakthrough, he has a chapter that talks about just this. So normally we go from a king to a queen or a queen to a king. We're going to go to not only a disciple, but a warrior and a king of kings. Dr. Breakthrough, how does this quote land on you?
I think it was Dr. Benjamin Mays says, I've only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. I didn't seek it. I didn't choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but an eternity is in it. And we have no idea how many of those minutes we have. So again, we have to be intentional. As of this month, it's my 774th month on God's earth. It's my 23,972nd day. And each day we have approximately 20,000 breaths. So I've had approximately 471,380,000 of those breaths. And Nadia and I have enjoyed 5,535 days of what we call breakthrough love, a love committed to breaking through any barrier that would try to hinder our relationship. And so Psalm 90:12 says, so teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. So as our brother so aptly spoke, if we just really understood how short of a time we have, when none of us know. As a matter of fact, James says, what is your life? It is even a vapor that appear for little time and then vanisheth away. And so to be intentional, I'm super spontaneous. My wife's super strategic. So together we're strategic, spontaneity. But we have to be strategic about our life, strategic, because again, we just don't know how long we have. And so it's best to make the best quality. And as the scripture says, redeeming the time, the days are evil, meaning that we ought to buy back our time. And so many people sell a lot of their time for a little bit of someone's money. And that's the whole power of being an entrepreneur, kingdompreneur, where we're willing to take that risk and learn to buy back our time and earn income at the same time. And so in high school, I close with this. David McGraw, I'll never forget. He's like, hey, look at the guy next to you. And we're like 15, 16, 17. He says, take good care of him. Be nice to him. Because one day you may need that guy to give you a job. You never think about it when you're young like that. But again, if you're blessed to be able to have a longer life, time rolls around. And so we got to be very strategic. What we say, what we do, how we behave, and what we accomplish. And for those of us with the silver, we've been blessed to live this long. We ought to close out strong. God bless you.
Way to go, Dr. Breakthrough. And like I said, for ladies and gentlemen, if you have not got a chance to read his book to get some more of this knowledge, it sounds better coming from him. He also has it on Audible. Look up Stan Harris. And it's what's the name of your book again? Stan?
Kingdompreneur, the art of doing business God's way with God's blessings.
All right, look that book up. I'm going to go back to my football days. Lou Holtz says that if you think you did something big yesterday, then you've done nothing with today. So, Gilda, since you guys are in matching dashikis, look at that. Happy Juneteenth to all of our listeners. Every day is Father's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. Every moment that we get a chance to celebrate or create experience is history being made, no matter what tint you have in your skin. We're all making history. And today is not a day that you can go one moment without hugging someone, loving someone, or being true to someone, or being true to your faith. So with that said, Gilda, how's this quote land on you?
Grand Rising, everyone. 3 words. Use time wisely.
Use time wisely. Look at that. I'm glad I don't have to follow Gilda. That's worse than following Naheem or Nez or Dr. Breakthrough. Look at that. Use time wisely. You young
Wisely.
people, all right. You young people, pay attention. All right. You're being spoke directly to. Curtis Battles, how are you doing, young brother? Another entrepreneur on this show, doing great things over on the East Coast. How are you doing? How's this cold land on you?
Good morning, all. Happy Sunday. You, of course, put me right behind Gilda. That was just bad. But I am so happy to be here with you all. What this quote says to me is it's about how you enjoy your time and your family and those people who are closest to us. So we have 3 generations living with us right now. My father-in-law, who's 84, my wife and I, in our more mature years, and my daughter, who's 24, going on 44. So we always try to make sure we have a family meal together every day, that we spend time just getting that wisdom passing down from the elders to the younger folks, and that we spread that around. Our house has become sort of that landing piece and landing place for people who are going through transitions in their lives or something. We've had young people just out of college. We've had folks that became, they're in this area for a short period of time. But each and every one of those experiences has been so enriching and so rewarding and makes so much of what you want to do. So I hear, in fact, that you need to think, what is the end I want to be at, and how do I get started to that? And as an entrepreneur, you're always trying to figure out, what is my exit strategy? So what are all the things I need to do along the way? But it's also thinking about, what are those bucket list items? What are those things I really want to see and do sometime in my life? It could be a safari to Africa. It could be helping at a soup kitchen in New York City. It could be traveling the world, or it could be just being able to see some beautiful sunrise just outside your window. So it's always about, how do we use that time wisely, as Gilda said, and it's also about, who are we spending our time with that enriches and enlightens and brings us joy in what can sometimes be a challenging world. That is how this quote landed on me.
All right. And thank you for that share. It's experiences. That's the best value that we have on time. It's the experience. It's the educations that we get from the people that we share our moments with, because moments do matter. I mean, believe it or not, the best part about this show is the time I spend with all of you guys. I learn more about myself every time I talk to one of you guys. I learn more about the world every time one of you goes out there and experiences something different in the world. I rely on my photographic memory to keep those experiences, to make those personal, because moments do matter. I will not trade this moment for all the next moments that come that I have no experience with. This is the best time I've ever spent. It's with my friends and my family. Love you all. So, Naheem Garcia, how you doing, young brother?
Recovering from the long weekend.
I hear
A
you
lot
guys
of
did.
embrace celebration, a lot of Juneteenth celebration, and it's one of the first times that in years, that I took time to walk through Franklin Park. I haven't done that in years, and seeing the amount of people that came out to celebrate Fraternity Row at Franklin Park for Embrace was crazy. Every fraternity and sorority was out there. Every Masonic order was out there. The community was live. And you know what? I'm glad that Imani and I got a chance to spend time with the community and time supporting friends. I had a friend of mine that directed a play. Another friend of mine, Wyatt, did this We Move in Color. That was incredible. So the fact is, the way this quote fell on me is, I took time to spend with the people, and to spend with the people that means the most, and to remind myself why I'm here and why I need to make use of this time in this space. So with that said, I may have not prepared safe grounds for my future, but I hope that others make sense of their time and space on this planet, because time is not promised to none of us. One day you could be here, and tomorrow or later on this afternoon, it could be a wrap. So make use of the time and remind the people that you're with that you care about them, that you love them. And I'm glad to be on this planet with you. Peace.
All right, you said it best. Time is not a renewable resource. It's an asset that needs to be protected and valued. Be intentional with your time. Denise had brought us our quote. We're having some technical difficulties on that end. We normally would be going back to the originator of this quote, but I'm going to ask you guys to buckle up. This is like flying on a 747, flying in first class. Pull up your tray tables, straighten up your seat, and get ready. Larnez, I'm going to ask Otis to deliver the quote one more time for the people that just tuned in. And then we're going to ask you how this quote landed on you, Otis.
Time is not refundable. Use it with intention.
Buckle up, everyone. Here it comes.
Well, radiant rising, everyone. To me, this quote is saying, time is the one thing you cannot get back. No store credit, no grace period, no let me speak to the manager for a moment. Once it's gone, it's gone. Yet, how many of us give it away like it's unlimited? When you move with spirit, with awareness, with alignment, you stop spending time and you start investing it. Every hour you give something or someone that isn't aligned with your peace, your purpose, or your elevation, it's a withdrawal from your divine bank account. And what for? To be liked, to look busy, to avoid the quiet. No, your time is sacred. Your days are your altar, and your presence is your power. So if you know your energy is divine, then your time has to be treated like it's gold dripped ritual, not a clearance sale. Ask yourself, does this moment water my growth or steal my light? Am I saying yes out of alignment or out of obligation? This isn't about hustling harder. It's about living softer, moving with purpose, protecting your peace, and letting your no be a prayer just as powerful as your yes. Because time doesn't come with refunds, but it does come with revelation. And if you use your intentions, you see so clearly. And that's how this hit me.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. This has never happened before, but Denise, you get to follow Larnez. All right. Everyone,
No.
yeah, pick up the mic because she just dropped it. All right, pick up the
Okay.
mic. Um, the reason why we went out of order is because every single morning Denise has blessed us with a quote of her own. I used to do it, and I go ahead and hers was a lot better than mine. And I said I enjoyed it. It was her way of staying connected to each and every last one of us. And she makes that time and makes us a priority. So she makes a conscious choice every single morning to get up, and one of us are part of her first thoughts of the day. So the reason why I have you going last is because one, I want to know how this quote landed on you. The other, I speak for everyone on here. Thank you for your kind words every single morning and your motivational, because they do land when it's needed. Some of us carry it with us. Sometimes the quote lands on us, and we have to pick it up and bear with it. And it's timely. So thank you. How does this quote land on you, Denise Lopes?
This quote is very deep for me. And in the morning, every morning I say a protection prayer before I send the bon dia to you guys. That's what I do. That's how I start my day. Um, and this quote landed on me. My friend just passed away, and for me, this quote landed because when you in the moment, just be present. Because sometimes when you with people and they're on their phone, they're not paying attention because you don't know when you're gonna have that moment again, if you ever gonna have it again. And for me, spend it with people, like give your energy to the right people too. Like the people that's going to be there for you, that's going to enjoy the moment. Because a moment you only get it, you're never going to get that back. Um, and for me, that's what I've been trying to be present. I always try to be present and be there for the people that next to me, like that. Have that conversation, have that social, like ask people about how they're doing. Because sometimes just asking someone, how are you, may trigger something. Maybe they be going through something that you don't know. So if you're not present, you're not gonna notice what's going on in somebody's life. And for me, it's like enjoy the moment. Like my friend just passed away, and every year we had the birthday party for our godchild, and we took a picture. Every time there's that picture, like showing us, like we were in the moment, and we were laughing. So I look at those pictures, like I was enjoying that moment, and that's something I'm never gonna get back. Like next birthday, he's not gonna be there, but his memory is going to be there. Like the time I enjoy with him, I'm going to feel it again because he's going to be there present in spirit with us. And for me, it's the energy. Give the energy for the people that's there for you. And make sure you spend it with people that's worth your time. That's how it landed on me.
Well, thank you for your sharing, and you wrapped it up very well. I'm glad you didn't go first, and I'm glad you brought the quote. And thank you for your blessings every single morning. And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. I speak for each one of us. For each one of us, we welcome that quote. Even though we may just say thank you or give a thumbs up or send one of those emojis, which I don't understand half of them. So I'll admit that. I'm learning. Anyone want to tutor me on social media? Feel free, because I'm blank when it comes to what it is. I'm too dumb to ask what does that mean. I just go with it. Hopefully, one of you guys will ask it for me and explain it. But this is a breakthrough for me because you know time is valuable. So when we get to the point of the show, we hear the voice. We're about to wrap up. So, Otis, one more time with a quote and tell us how the quote landed on you, sir.
Time is not refundable. Use it with intention. As I woke up this morning, I was thinking of a song by the Byrds written by Bob Seger, and the lyrics are also inspired by Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. Turn everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And at the time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down. A time to dance, a time to mourn. A time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. A time to love, a time to hate. A time of war, a time of peace. A time you may embrace, a time you may refrain from embracing. Use your time wisely, because you never know how much time you'll have.
A way to wrap that up, the voice of our show. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed each and every last one of our co-hosts' share. I know you guys are waiting for me to do mine to wrap up the show. It's amazing. I make notes at the beginning of the show, and something happens, and it changes the way that I see things. But I have to go back to this. A good friend of mine, Dave Sanderson. He was one of those survivors that was on that plane that landed. I won't say crashed in the Hudson River. You saw the movie Scully. He had an opportunity to be one of the first people out of the plane and onto that wing. And because he had time to reflect while they were about to land and they were told that they were going to crash, he had Googled real quick, in the event that you were in a plane crash, what part of your anatomy would be survivable. And he recorded a voice message to his wife and his kids, put it in a plastic bag and put it in his front of his underwear. Because when you get dismembered, your arms, your legs, and normally your torso, so the one part that normally survives. And he said moments matter. And so I thought about this, when we talk about is time renewable, it's a resource that you can't get back. It's gone in a blink of an eye. No matter what decision or choices you make, 1 minute, and now my phone, Google is answering me. I apologize. And in a moment of weakness, we make decisions that we can't take back. I always say be mindful, be purposeful, and not waste your time. And sometimes, when you invest in people and you think your time is not being valued, you never know how it affects that person or where they're at that moment. And we experience that at the top of the show. You know, sometimes to ask for forgiveness is sometimes being the bigger person, and sometimes giving forgiveness shows you how much you value that time. If I were Dave Sanderson and this plane was going down, we have a group text. I would write to each and every last one of you how important your friendship, your kindness, the education, your support has value to me, along with my children, their mother, um, my grandparents, and a couple other people. So when you make the list of someone that deems you to be important, you know how valued your time is. Today, do me a favor, become important to someone, even though you may be the giver of that time and not always recipient of that time. Make the moment you have right now matter. So we meet here every single Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We all get together, we throw out a quote. Each week, someone brings it in, we talk about it. Are there words that just lay there on the page, or there conversations to be had? I hope that somewhere in this world, and I do know that all the way in Vienna, Austria, there's someone that has actually watched our show. I met him firsthand, so I know we're reaching somebody. So our time does matter. So I appreciate each and every last one of you for dedicating this time. I appreciate our listeners from around the world for tuning in. And I hopefully that someone is repeating one of the quotes or one of the phrases from one of our many highly intelligent kings and queens that are on this platform. Denise, thank you for bringing this quote. My grandfather always said, when you get to a place in life that you can help someone else out, he said it's your duty to do so. He said, reach one. I'm going to see where this lands. Teach one. And with that said, we what?
Fade to black.
I was hoping Gilda was going to tune in too and say it too. And we fade to black. And
Do it
Dr.
one more
Breakthrough.
time. Go ahead, Gilda.
All right. And I'll say it again. Our closing statement. My grandfather always said, when you get to a point in life, and remember this, when you get to a point in life and you can help someone else out, it is your duty to do so. He said, reach one, teach one. And we what?
Hey, the black.
And make sure you come back.
There you go. And Dr. Stan, we can't do this without you. We love you all. Enjoy Juneteenth. Enjoy your summer. Be smart. Value your time and be intentional with the conversations you have with the people that love you, and have grace. And we're out.